arguments because I've heard both of your arguments for years. And I love the both of you. So I would want it to be a discussion that we can work through. Now, listen, I'm frustrated too. Because yesterday I had to watch the United States military walking down the streets of Washington, D.C. with long arms, which are now reportedly filled with live rounds. I was in
Can I
Dantel.
respectfully ask why you think that's an issue?
You don't believe that to be an issue?
It's
Yeah,
America.
I was going to say, I think somebody should ask you why you think that's not an issue.
Okay, because as long as they're not hurting civilians, I don't understand why it would be an issue for no reason. For no reason.
So you think it's cool for the commander in chief to send the military to roam the streets of a U.S. city?
Hey, we're okay with it when we send them to another country to watch over those civilians.
But that's other countries. That's not here. And the only person that was okay with that, the only person that's okay with that is the president, who keeps asking people how to get that respect.
No, I think a lot.
I'm okay with it.
I think the majority of Americans
People are safe
okay with that because they're keeping.
Absolutely.
Y'all have no decorum. I just can't first start yelling.
All I'm going to say is in 2014.
Real quick, before we carry on, there's a lot of echoes and there's a lot of feedback. So there's fans that I can hear because it sounds like a heartbeat. So some of you have fans, some of you have Bluetooth, some of you have both. So try to go push to talk. You could talk at any time, jump in at any time. Just if you're not on the microphone, try to mute. That's all. Doom, mic check. Get Fent back in here.
Also, I have another question about pew pews. Does anyone on this panel agree with getting rid of all pew pews, banning them?
Absolutely not.
Who would
We need more.
I do not.
Absolutely, I agree with getting rid of all of them.
It's not possible in America.
T-Bone, don't go
It's
there.
never going to happen.
Okay, don't go there yet, because they're going to have a visceral response.
But
Why did you do that?
Steph,
Why did you do that?
it seems like the first thing that comes out of his mouth is just wanting to argue about the shit. Like even
Because the only thing that they can see is somebody coming into their bedroom closet and taking their 3
What does that have
like
to
that's
do?
all they can see.
Not
Well,
true.
how well does that work in Chicago and
Oh
Washington?
my
DC,
fucking God.
Not allowing guns.
Look, I have something very simple and intelligent to say about what
Chicago and where?
Tom disagrees with.
Washington, D.C.
If
You
take
should have
all
said
the-
West
hold
Virginia.
on, if you take all the
You should have
pew
said
pews away-
Kentucky. You
If
should
you
have
take-
said Tennessee, sir.
Should have said
You
Minneapolis.
should have said Florida.
Considering the last fucking 12 hours.
You should have said Florida.
You should have
What I
said
said, what I
Minneapolis.
said.
You should have said Nevada.
Like, what the
Don't tell
fuck?
me, no, I live in
You
Nevada.
should have said
It's great
Utah.
here.
If you take all,
If that's
if
what
you
it's
take
going to
all
fucking
pew pews
take to
away,
fix
You're an
the
idiot.
crime, then that's what it takes to fix the crime.
if you
Yes.
could,
Okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's put the military.
Yeah, and you guys cry about why didn't he go to the red states? Yeah, go to the red states and the blue cities
Where was
that have the highest crime.
with them children just got unalive?
the blue states
And I
do
have
have
no
the highest
problem.
crime.
Yeah.
I'm so worried about everybody else. Why can't they keep
All to the red states and protect the Republicans.
Right.
Let the Democrats and all you people just kill yourselves off or
This
off
is
yourselves.
so fucking ridiculous. We're watching this
The fact that you
conversation
would equate
shift.
this to red and blue is wild. Like,
We
so
are
just because
watching.
I totally
not as many red kids fucking unalive. It's okay because more blue kids unalive. And what the fuck is wrong with you?
Because you're the one complaining when he's trying to fix it.
And you're supposed to be a Trump supporter talking about
fucking
America
idiot.
first.
You're
No,
a
I can
piece
give a
of
long
shit.
lecture.
When
You're
Trump's
a
trying to
fucking
stop
piece
those
of shit.
blue
They probably
kids
went to
from
a
dying.
red district
You
to
guys
pick up the
crack
Pass
fucking
around the topic
package
as
to
well.
take it to a blue
We
district.
could get very long lectures.
Yeah.
God, you're
But
fucking women.
Yeah,
I-
bitch.
with
I
it
still
being
have
a
I'm
something
gonna
to
public
say.
leave.
discourse.
I'm back, bitches.
Thank God we don't have a woman
I'm
president.
sorry.
Tom, I still had something to say to you.
Fen, if you're
so
in here, I see you. Fen
Get a piece of
is
shit out
sending
of
a
here.
message, and he
If
said,
you
you know
were
what
to-
my number one thing is
Be nice. I try to sit here
we're
on
the
mute
only
and be
country in the
nice,
world with
but
Yeah, we don't
bulletproof
care.
book,
Shut up, bitch.
book
If you
bags.
were to
fucking
take,
unhinged
if you were to
This is just fucking ridiculous.
here,
bro.
this isn't
So let's
ridiculous.
reset
I'll
the
tell
room
you
and
something,
get
Tom,
back
that
to the
isn't ridiculous.
subject.
If you
Don't make
take all
us
And the
pew pews
topic.
away, if you could even accomplish that in America,
Excuse me. Let's get back to it. I'm going to reset the
I've
room
been
really
trying to
quick.
ask this.
I'm going to reset the room really quick. Welcome to the Steph Show. My name is Stephanie. I'm the host. This is a heavy topic today. We are following some breaking news out of Minneapolis. Annunciation Catholic School There is an AS situation right now, 20 plus casualties. We don't know exactly how many people have been injured or unalived. We are unsure at this time. It's happening right now in South Minneapolis. Also, we are following in Washington, D.C., the military has now been deployed, as well as the National Guard, armed. And if you were in my live yesterday or in Dan Charles' live, it was the most, I'm 36 years old. I've never seen anything like that. I'm 36 years old. I've never seen anything like that.
Get used to it, baby.
Pulled over and showed you guys like how the police are walking down our street, or not the police. See, I keep missing my words up here because it's all the same at this point. The military police are walking down the streets of our capital with long arms. So I pulled the car over, and Dan Shaw gave me the big box, and you could see them walking, marching, goose stepping, honestly, in formation with long arms strapped to their chests with potential live rounds.
I would have waved at him and said thank you.
We also have a drastic increase in AS events. And I mean, I think it's fair of me to tell the public, like, if we look back statistically at this time, for specific reasons, if you can't critically put it together, I'm not going to walk you there, but there's a time, this is a time period right now where they significantly increase. So that's what we're talking about right now. That's what we're following. We're having the conversation, the broad conversation of what's going on right now in America and what we're going to do about it. Thank you for listening.
Stephanie.
Please follow me if you're new here, if you haven't already. Send your daily heart me. This is my last commercial break, and we're going to go back straight into the conversation. Follow me up top if you haven't already. Please drop a heart me. And I think we'll be back in Washington this weekend. Okay. Hello, Renee.
So I think the first pew-pewer this morning was unalived by law enforcement. The school one was apprehended, and I don't know about the third one yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. But we had 3 mass pew-pewings within 12 hours.
Well, if you were to take the guns, the only people that would have them would be criminals that don't care about the law.
Amen.
So, what are you guys saying? Literally.
So I don't know about the one that was last night, but one was outside of a school, one was in a school, and I don't know where the other one was.
I'm going to make it very easy for you guys. I'm not going to lecture. I'm going to make it very easy for you guys.
Can I lecture?
And then you'll discuss this. Okay? The more you add into circulation in this country, the more they will be used.
You can take them all away. You can, if you.
So
can.
I just want you to sit on that. Like there is no. If you add more, they do not go away.
If you take away,
you add more, they will use
or take away.
Okay, so
anything.
If you add more into circulation, they are used.
Steph. I just want to point out that Renee pointed out that we had 3 mass events that took place in the past 12 hours. And the only thing that they are hung up on is protecting their rights. It's to be fair.
That is
only
not.
person. Hold on, Moon. I was still speaking.
I think we should have.
I'm not worried about my rights.
I am almost done.
In Congress,
I am
and everybody.
Please let
done.
T-Bone finish. T-Bone has the mic. I don't want to mute anybody.
And then you can rebuttal. As soon as I finish, you can respond.
I can say whatever I want, whenever I want.
Okay, then we just can't have a conversation. You don't care about making this country better. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about,
we can sit here all day and have this discussion. We don't need you to interrupt.
I'm not worried
T-Bone,
about my
you have
rights.
the microphone. Go ahead.
The only thing that I am pointing out is that we need to be talking about solutions, and it seems like no one really cares about the solutions. It's either one of 2 things. We need to politicize this, or I need to protect my right to bear arms in this country. And to be fair with you, the only person up here who's making the argument for taking all your shit is me. And that's because I can actually logically and consistently battle that with you. You don't want to have that conversation with me.
But you can't
If
justify
you want to have a
it.
conversation about fixing the problems in this country, we can do that. Let's
So
stick to that.
T-Bone, I like this idea. If a pew-pew owner just happens to lose a pew-pew and it's found somewhere and it's got, somebody on it.
Okay, Renee, That's the getting into the weeds on specific
Right,
legislation.
but
Let's
I'm
get
just
back.
talking about a minimum of 5 years for losing
Okay,
your
that's
PQ in
getting
this
into the
country.
weeds on specific legislation. Listen, the more you add, the more there will be. Okay, we need to think critically about this. Can somebody give me another object commodity in society that has both positive and negative outcome? Can you give me?
Can I say something back to Tom like you
No,
said I
we're
could
in
do?
school, honey. Welcome to school. Can somebody give
I could
me?
school you all in this.
Can somebody give me another
Okay.
commodity that has both a positive and negative outcome? So, for example, we could use a store. We could use alcohol. You know, we could use.
Coke in the kitchen. I use it to cook, and
Okay. So, y'all pick one. Walmart. We're going to use Walmart. Okay, we're going to take it light for a second. Let's think about this critically. There are a lot of Walmarts. Okay. Well, Walmart's not. It does have a negative outcome. So let's use.
have a negative outcome. It's China's #1 supply chain. It's negative.
Okay, well,
Drops our
yeah,
dollar.
it does have a negative. You are right. It does have a negative. I just, for the sake of the argument. Okay, we'll use Walmart. All right. We know what Walmart does. We know how what it does to small business and what it does to communities. We know what Walmart does, right? So there are a lot of Walmarts
too.
Okay, and then there are now 1 billion Walmarts. They're everywhere. If you want to stop the negative effects of it, what would you do? Now, you can replace Walmart for anything. Alcohol.
Say it again. Say the question again, because I didn't hear you.
So I try to separate it from pew-pews because people do have a visceral response to that commodity. So we have to pick a different commodity to talk about. Let's use alcohol.
I understand the Walmart, Stephanie.
I know you do.
Less inventory.
Okay. Let me start over because I think you guys could.
I wasn't understanding. I'm working and I'm listening at the same time.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. A lot of people probably are just coming in too. Okay. So, Walmart or alcohol, right? Two commodities in society that have positive and negative effects. We need to, the more Walmarts you add, the more small business goes away, right? Like we see the negative effects. We can see the negative effects. If you wanted to take away those negative effects, what would you do? Would you add more Walmarts? Would you add more Walmarts?
No.
Because then if you added more Walmarts, I mean, then everybody would have a Walmart, right?
Right. Availability would be everywhere.
But wouldn't the negative effects at that point just be everywhere?
Right. The negative.
I need to be introduced, or can I talk?
Negative effects would be smaller businesses would.
It would all be gone.
To leave. Right.
It would all be gone. So it would be over, right? So we can't add more Walmarts.
Do I need to be
then we take
introduced?
Walmarts away.
I know one thing, Stephanie, because if you have more supply, usually it devalues, so it's cheaper. So lessen the supply and higher the price.
So like alcohol, right? You increase alcohol in society and what happens? What happens when you increase alcohol in society?
There was a thing a long time ago.
DUIs, domestic violence.
Yeah, what was that,
like
you guys?
all that
allowed 18?
So you can think 18? Of all of the negative outcomes.
Right.
Would those
So what do you
negative
do about 3D
outcomes?
printers?
Would those negative outcomes go away if you added more alcohol?
Who's am I?
Oh, Stephanie, 25, really? Because your frontal lobe isn't closed?
Would the negative aspects go away if you added more alcohol?
No.
No. They would just
there
get
be
worse.
less? You add more alcohol, then everybody gets used to it, and everybody can build a relationship and be comfortable with it, and right? And then there's no DUIs and there's no domestic violence, right?
Stephanie,
okay. So now let's go back to the subject. 18? Now let's go back to the subject. It's pew-pews. Okay, we're adding more and more and more to society, this commodity. What is happening?
More and more children are getting a hold to them and they're unaliving.
So how do you fix the issue with 3D printers, right? So you can 3D print lowers of any receiver weapons and then order it to your front door.
Federal
so
crime.
we're not necessarily putting them.
We're not even talking about that. What are you talking about?
They're pew-pews, right? With 3D printers,
No,
you can.
you're not. But you're getting off what we're talking about.
But
No.
Echo, real quick. What she is
You'll
is not
take them away
saying we
and you
need to
will get
remove
prohibition.
all.
Well,
She is not saying to remove all of the firearms. That's not
and
what
we
she's
see that
saying.
today.
I know what she's saying. She's saying less in circulation would equal less violence. I understand that. What I'm saying is, what do you do about the people that are making the ghost guns,
Federal crime.
essentially? So what do you do about those?
Federal
you
crime.
can't regulate them. You can't control them.
Federal crime.
They're already. I mean,
I got
well,
the solution
already-
for it.
Nowhere in the Constitution is it a protection to manufacture pew-pews. It says you have a right to bear them
I got.
and own them. But it doesn't say you have any right to manufacture them.
Well, you can though. You still can.
It doesn't have. It's not
It doesn't have
explicitly
to be
implied anywhere in the
registered.
United States Constitution.
Well, I live in
Therefore, it is
Texas.
open to interpretation, and we need to interpret that it is a federal crime.
Okay, well, then that answers my question. Then I mean, you just legislate it to where you can't make these, but that still doesn't take them away from people.
Okay, so we need to have discussions in society about why men feel powerful and masculine when they're holding one of those, and let's say not a pencil.
Exactly.
Oh, sure, because you can use them as protection or for sporting events.
All right,
But
so
why do you
here's a
feel
solution,
powerful
man.
and masculine holding that in society and not a pencil?
I think that's a very subjective claim.
Because I would argue
I would argue if he can clear a background check, I can't see a reason not having a pew-pew.
Oh no!
All right, so here's a solution.
Red flag laws.
But the problem with that is that a lot of states don't have background checks for that market.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
and when
Florida
there are
is
people in
one
this
of them.
country.
And a lot of times they can clear a background check, and even if they do, they still not fucking responsible. Hence,
that's why-
most of
that's
these
why we
kids
need
that
red flag
are in
laws.
these school unalignments are getting it from their parents who passed a background check.
I'm going to be the negative Nancy real quick.
And if you're going to engage in this, hold on one second, Renee. If you're going to engage in this discussion and you're going to talk about the people who are strictly using it for self-defense, you say you're going to use it for self-defense, but you don't. You just perpetuate an industry that requires other people to use it for self-defense. So other people do become, collateral to this thing because you find it a commodity.
what other?
Now,
people?
you're not ready for that conversation.
No, I am.
You
What
know,
other
we're not
people?
there yet, chat. We're still in the first
Are you talking about the
semester.
person aggressing upon my rights to where I have to stop the threat, or are you talking about innocent civilians that are standing around?
Bruh, you will
It's a simple
never.
question.
Here's a way to protect the Second Right. There's a way to protect it and still be able to own one. Just don't leave your house with it or leave your house with it. You're protecting your home, right?
Well, no, that's like a castle.
I'm with T-Bone on this. I blame anybody that perpetuates the industry.
No, I'm
Sorry.
just saying, like
Sorry.
make it a law to where
Men want to fight so hard for that pew-pew, but not my body.
Well, women don't have the right to unalive their children, so I would say.
oh, come on, man. Come on, buddy.
Stephanie, I wanted to try to get in here because I don't know if you remember when alcohol used to be for 18 and older, and they had to change the law because all the 18-year-olds were doing dumb shit in this country. Do you remember that time?
Yep.
So I'm like, what about 25 and older to own one? I mean, that's reasonable. And then there's another thing too. Like, I find it fascinating when we have these conversations. Nobody ever wants to hold the government accountable for dropping off freight trains in the middle of neighborhoods. Like, let's be fucking for real. What are you guys gonna do about this? Like, I really want to know, because we understand that a lot of these that are on the street aren't even registered. Like, they're literally just dumped places.
Hey, we have them here. They get dropped off.
Tony, that's a common sense answer.
We get them here like every other month down in the West End. They do it like every other month, and them kids hit them trains every time.
What I'm saying is, people that really want to have pew-pews in this country and value the Second Amendment, when are you going to go, like, hold your government accountable for dropping them off in the streets?
Well,
I'm just curious.
do y'all have a source stating that they do this, or is this y'all's assumption?
Okay, I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to go on mute, and then you ask yourself how there's like 3,000 picked up in a sweep that aren't registered on our streets.
I told you they make
like
them 3D printers. It's pretty easy.
I mean, we can pull up articles and articles. Cars stopped. 23 of them seized, whatever, 1,000 seized, non-registered. Like,
you saying that the ones that she's talking about are 3D printed? Motherfucker, this shit's been going on since the 70s, 80s. They didn't have 3D printers back then.
No,
this ain't
100%.
New shit.
But you have to, if this is a positive claim, you have to have a source stating the government's doing this.
You're way off. I don't even think you qualified to even understand what we're talking about. You're way off.
So y'all made a positive claim.
They don't want to understand that side
at all.
They don't want to. They ignore it all. But yet they sit here, we want them. But yet you don't want to make it safer, so you don't care about them problems.
We're the only country in the world that loves them. Like, no other. No other country. Like, why is the United States, like, we need to have that conversation at some point. I know y'all don't want to, right? Because we're in semester 1. All right.
Yeah.
Stephanie's
funny, see, when you're talking about this, you make a positive
Marxist 101. At some point, we have to address why this country loves weaponry of all kinds. We sell it to everybody. We advocate for its use everywhere. We're the only country in the world that loves the pew-pews, right? We've got, don't make me talk about Hiroshima.
Right. But hey, Stephanie, let me get in here for a second.
You guys, you mediocre, middle-aged, conservative MAGA men, stop seeing yourselves as masculine carrying that, and start to see yourselves as masculine carrying a pencil.
What's a pencil do?
We'll be in a better position.
What's a pencil do?
Because right now, I mean,
you ever seen John Wick?
Y'all are not
ever seen motherfucking
Y'all are not.
Batman?
What's a pencil do?
You ever wrote legislation?
Educate.
So is education enforced?
I'm gonna show you what a pencil does. Run up, bitch. Run up.
Yes, education. Yes, education.
Yeah, so a pencil enforces our rights. You have to have an enforcement mechanism, and I do believe that's a physical type, not a educational
education.
Type. No.
Hey, dude,
how do you think your rights are protected?
Hey, let me just say something real quick, man, if you don't mind. All right, so listen. How about we regulate it, man? Like we regulate you driving a car, insurance. You'll get half the weapons off the street.
Oh my God! Here you guys go again.
Hold on.
Who's regulating the freight trains that just dump them in the streets? Who's regulating?
Let me finish what I want to say, lady, if you don't mind. Okay, if we regulate it, we try. This is a step towards it. Okay, we can't eliminate it all off everywhere. You know that. But what we could do is make it to where you have to have insurance, like in your car. You own a weapon, you have to have insurance. You have to pay a monthly thing, whatever it is. If your insurance is $75 a month, right there is going to eliminate a lot of people from owning one because they can't afford the insurance.
Let one of your pew-pews come up missing, you do 5 years minimum. How about you lose one of your pew-pews, you do 5 years minimum? How about that?
Why don't we make them hot pink with glitter only?
Right,
so the only thing that you can buy would be hot pink with glitter.
whatever, man.
Stay-
You know,
stay
what you want to
square
do is
ball, red flag
eliminate.
balls.
Like
You want to eliminate
all
a
of
lot.
them are now hot pink with glitter.
Technically, you could do that, and that would be hilarious. And I think that's a good idea. But I think the insurance is the number one way to do it because there's a lot of people that are being harmed from these things, and if people are going to be harmed, you should have to pay restitution. I don't
Right.
understand this idea
Insured.
of
Just like a car, dude.
I don't even know if that's even if you would even consider that regulation. That's just reality, right? You know what I'm saying? If you have a weapon of destruction, you should have to have liability insurance to deal with any of the consequences of you using said weapon. Just like a car, right? You still have a right. You still have your right to own one, right? You'll still have a right to own one, but you'll have to deal with the consequences financially if things go wrong.
Right,
That's
and
simple.
you have to pay a monthly insurance fee like your car, man, and that would eliminate a lot of people owning them because they can't afford the monthly fee of insuring them.
The same thing happens with your house. You have housing insurance, and if a bunch of people slipped and fell in front of your house over and over and over again, guess what? Your housing, your mortgage, your house insurance will go up.
So I think the insurance portion of this makes sense if we're talking about the corporations or not necessarily the corporations, but like the distributors, right? Like if we're talking about the distributors putting these firearms into rotation, that's where it kind of makes sense. And then there's obvious other conversations about. Yeah, and then there's obvious conversations about allowing people to be unalived by them. I think the problem that happens though is you get the argument from the right about the infringement portion, and then the second thing is for situations that, like for example, just took place. I don't think anybody really cares about insurance when they're about to go up into a school and do what they're going to do.
No, okay, but here's the point you're missing.
Part of the problem.
Hold on a second. Let me get this one.
Yeah,
let me get this
let
one.
me just say this.
Okay, keep in mind it could be a compound solution, right?
Yeah. So
it
the
could
argument
be a
that
compound solution by requiring insurance, stricter reform, and making them hot pink with glitter.
So the situation in particular. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. If you would be quiet, I will be able to explain that this would literally make the parents accountable in particular, right? So if they have insurance,
what do you mean?
So
be quiet.
If they have insurance, right, and if they have access to insurance, they're most likely going to look at the situation and say, "Hey, I'm going to have to pay out a huge payment if I don't secure this thing to make sure that my child doesn't get access to it." You get what I'm saying? The young man in Uvalde wouldn't have been able to get what he got to get to where he is. The young man in Michigan likely would have had his parents likely would have done what they needed to do. You see what I'm saying?
And the one in Parkland, his foster parents
what's the common
wouldn't have allowed him to buy one.
Most of the time. What's the common denominator here most of the time?
They have access from the parents.
What's the common denominator here most of the time?
She's going to say men.
Well, is it?
There you go.
White
men are violent, 100%.
White men.
Well, sure, white men. Men are violent. Who's humans are violent. Well, what's your point?
The point is this, man. Listen, if I was to tell you, you can buy whatever weapon you want, but you have to insure each weapon. You have to have insurance for each weapon, and say you have to pay $200 a month, right, for your insurance to own these weapons.
You voted for Trump, didn't you, Danny?
No. All right.
You voted for Trump?
No.
You're sounding like a real Trumpster right now. Just throw some money at it. Just make it cost more. The problems will go away.
Hold on a second. No, you know what? You're missing the point. You're missing it. And by the way, I'm not a Trump supporter, man. Okay, but you're missing the point. It's not comprehending with you.
What does insurance do?
Okay,
explain this insurance. What will it protect? What will it protect?
Okay.
What does the insurance protect?
Okay,
you get a second chance. You get a new life. The pew was insured. You get a new life.
All right. So how about you let somebody finish what they want to say? Okay, because it would eliminate a lot of people owning them.
No,
You understand that? Yes, it would, because a lot of people couldn't afford the
hold on.
insurance
The
to
people
own
that
them.
don't register them, how do they pay insurance, and how would you know they have them?
Okay, and then you make it, and then okay,
It's already
if it's
illegal.
not, hold on a second.
I want to.
So
Can anybody? Does anybody? Matter of fact,
So
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up and see how many were seized already in 2025 that weren't registered that were on the streets. How
Okay.
many do you think?
Make
Danny?
it a
Give me a
horrible.
number.
Make
Give
it
me a number.
Hey, would you? Okay, listen, ready? Make it a tougher law. Regulate it a little bit better. You know what I'm
Want
saying?
from
Make it a
you.
tougher
What's the
law
number?
to own
How
one.
many do you think were seized in 2025 on
A
the
lot.
streets that were
A lot.
non-registered? How many?
A
What's the
lot.
number? Give me a number.
A lot.
Not a number.
Okay, I don't know the fucking number, lady.
There is not a state registry here in the state of Texas. I do not have to register my pew pew.
So the
That
issue is
is-
illegal guns, not legally owned guns. Then by the yellow.
No, literally, it's both. Actually, literally, it's both. Right?
Well, what's the
Because
number?
I own mine legally, but it is not registered. So if my pew pew ends up in the hands of someone else, right?
Well, hold on. What's the stat?
Right?
Well, hold on. What's the
Who's
stats before you said it's?
I
What do you
thought
think my
we
positive
wouldn't.
claim is?
Holy shit.
What do you think my positive claim? Like, yeah, what do you think it was?
So legal ones are the issues, not the legal ones. And you said no. Actually,
Both.
it's both.
Okay,
So,
so
what
let's
is
look
the
at
stats?
let's look up. No, there
on
is
it's
no
both?
stats. We don't have to. Okay, I can show you the situation in Parkland. That was a legally owned weapon. The situation in situation in Uvalde was legally owned. The situation in Michigan was legally owned. The situation in Columbine was legally owned. I
We
don't know
have
why
over
we have to play this game.
47,000 unalivings by pew pews a year. You just named 3 or 4. That's like scratching
what
the
percentage
surface.
and what percentage of them are unalivings of themselves?
Probably, I think half are self-doing harm, and then the other half.
So
are
why'd you
probably
make it seem like there was a whole bunch of situations where people are going out unaliving other people? The reality is, it is both sides. It is not just illegal; it is also legal. That is the issue. It is the problem with having a pew pew and doing an act like what happened in Parkland is that you can own it legally and then do something illegal with it.
So you're
Right.
So the
talking
whole
like
point
red
is to
flag laws.
reduce the whole point is to reduce the amount of situations like the situation in Parkland, like the situation in Uvalde, right?
So you're talking
Right.
red flag laws. So yeah,
Not
red flag.
no, I specifically
No.
said insurance.
I can't find the
specifically
exact
said
numbers,
insurance.
but
I specifically
the nice
said
one that comes
insurance.
up, Shawnee.
Renee, don't derail the conversation, please. Renee.
So, Echo,
Please,
instead
please.
of trying to push back on what I'm saying, just listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening. That's why I'm asking questions.
Insurance would slow down the
Atlas
purchasing
is
of these
here
products.
and speaking right now. Do y'all want to hear it?
No, we haven't heard that. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Please play it, please.
Yes, Annalise.
can I close
would
this
like
out real
to
quick?
hear it.
Can I close it out
Yeah,
real
you
quick?
got it, Shawnee.
All
You
right.
got it, Shawnee.
So, insurance would slow down the amount of these purchases, and it would prevent. Okay, never mind.
There's also a family resource center that is being set up as we speak to make sure that we're there for everybody. Again, to the families that are suffering, to those that have experienced loss, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be with you every step of the way. We love you. This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often. The chief will provide additional details.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the Mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
What can you tell us about the suspect in this case? How old was he? Any kind of motivation? Any notes or any other information?
So we were looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history, and we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive. Yeah. How many children there were? I don't have an exact. The question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of children inside the Mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them. The question was, we know if the student was, if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student. We don't have that information. There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we will be conducting other searches related to this inside the parking lot here.
There was some neighbors who said that the door to the church had been barricaded.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least 2 doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire. On the outside, yes. The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke. Here, on this side. I don't have specific information on that I can release. Yeah, the question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
Was it outside or both inside that he was shooting?
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Shooting related to any other shootings that happened in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city.
No, approximately how many rounds?
The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area. So obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
Firing just one weapon, like the rifle, or?
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information. And I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either. It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, however you like.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have a lot more work that needs to be done.
I think that's all the questions.
Thank you for playing it.
Thank you, Annalise,
Hey, you
very
think?
much, man.
Yes, man. Hey, do you think society in America would do better without weapons?
Internet or him?
Danny,
Jesus.
it's Danny's internet.
Society.
No, Danny.
Yeah. All I heard
No,
was
Danny,
society do
because
better.
The data
people
shows
Cut out.
opposite.
will it be better without weaponry? And I will say no, Danny, because people will always improvise something to use to hurt another person.
They won't be as successful as the data shows you. You're more likely to live from a stab woman than a pew pew woman. And I don't understand why we don't acknowledge the fact that these firearms give people way more velocity, way more range, way more ammunition to get the job done of taking people's lives. You're not going to get the same amount of
I
casualties.
disagree. I have an
Hold on,
article I can pull.
Renee, let me finish.
Not
You're
derail
not
the
going to get
conversation, Renee.
you are not going to get the same amount of casualties in Vegas of 60 people being unalive by these firearms if that same person has a knife. It is just factual.
Right on. I agree with you 100%, man. That's why I'm saying Japan. Look at Japan, man. They don't have weapons. Their society's
I'm
thriving,
gonna be
man.
honest with you. I was
You
told by
know?
the police to get me a firearm.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
now the
I
question
nobody.
was
is,
I was advised. I was going to work in the morning, and I used to catch the bus. And he asked me if they follow me. They used to sit and watch, so make sure it didn't happen to me. And he said, "Do you have something to protect yourself?" I said, "Yeah, I got a poker." And he was like, "What the hell is that gonna do? You got to get close enough to use that. They've been and got you back in." So this is the way I feel. I feel like we do need certain protections, but I think that people have went so overboard with this shit that now it has become such a problem that it's like get rid of them. Even though I do feel like we need them, but at the same time, I feel like we should get rid of them. So I'm stuck in the middle with it.
yeah, but
Law
people with
People
malice and
hunting
like
people,
even
man.
close to the site where he committed that, there was like nobody around. Like, I mean, if that's what it takes, you got to have some kind of police enforcement around the schools,
They love
or
the police state. They
Hey,
love the
like,
police state, man.
oh my God, oh my fucking God! I just said this not even a fucking hour ago. You just said, why isn't someone out there patrolling the church? Shouldn't the police be out there? I could have swore I fucking said this shit an hour ago, and hoe ass niggas on the panel had some fly ass shit to say to a nigga. That shit is crazy to me. But
So people
any
Have.
fucking way, like I was saying, anyway,
anyway.
police officers should not be sitting outside of churches. Security guards should not be sitting outside of churches. This should not happen. I'm going to say this one time, and I'm going to say this one time again. Security guards and police officers should not be sitting outside of churches and schools because those are considered safe sanctuary places for citizens.
That made no
They
That's
sense.
always
not that's not
default.
what he was saying earlier. Don't let that
They
man
always
fool y'all, bro.
Well, what
Yeah,
sense does
they
that make?
always default. No, they always default to the police state, right? They say, "Oh, you got the Second Amendment right for a tyrant government," and then default straight to this type of behavior. Oh, we should have police everywhere. There should be police and all these people everywhere. But what
Let me
happened in
talk to you,
Parkland?
Shawnee. This motherfucker want to say what I didn't say. I said, Shawnee, and I fucking quote, right, Shawnee? Watch how they politicize this because this is a blue state. Tim Walz, who was the vice presidential candidate in last election in a blue fucking city because Donald Trump wants to deploy the National Guards to blue states and blue cities. You lame ass nigga. Shawnee, I'm pushing it back to you.
He's lying.
Wait a
He's
minute.
lying,
Wait a minute. Are
Shawnee.
we gonna
That's
go?
not
Are
what
we
he
gonna wait a minute?
said.
Wait a minute. I bet you the only reason why you know of anything because it involved children in the school. But are we just gonna go past the fact that when I first got on the panel, I told you there was 3 mass pew pews within 12 hours? Are we gonna ignore that? Like you're only
That doesn't
highlighting
change
one incident.
anything. That doesn't
Right, it
change.
doesn't
It doesn't
change.
change
So within
anything. No,
12
that doesn't
hours,
change
you
the
have 3 mass
conversation.
pew pews in a city, and you're not like, maybe we do need to deploy the National
No,
Guard. I mean,
that's
like,
not
what?
the problem.
So
No,
maybe
not the
today's
no.
not over
Wow,
yet.
Okay,
Today's not
Tom.
see,
over
y'all
yet.
Wow,
default
Tom
to this.
Cat. That's what she just said. Wow. You see how I got ahead of the story before somebody else got ahead of the story? Wow.
That's not what you said before. You can keep trying to tell people that that's what
What
you
I
said, but
say?
that's not.
What I say then?
Absolutely,
Annalise was up
absolutely,
here. Annalise was
absolutely,
up here, and Stephanie was here. So what did I say, bro?
absolutely. You said, and I quote, now I want to mind y'all, this is in a blue state, in a blue city. That's how you phrased it, emphasizing that the problem was the restrictions on the firearms. And then when I push back on you and say,
Problem.
"Hold on,
That
bro,
is not the problem. That is
stop
not the
talking." You
fucking
asked me a
problem
question,
I
didn't you?
said.
You asked me a question, didn't you?
Okay.
You asked me a
Okay,
question,
tough guy.
didn't
You
you?
got it. You
So when
got it,
I sat there
boss.
and I said, "Hold on, bro, we shouldn't be talking about this from a political sense because regardless of this happening in the blue city, the same shit is happening in red states as well." Yo ass got fucking mad at me. Yo ass turned the fuck up
Hey,
because you was mad that I said we should not be
didn't I
politicizing this.
say didn't
I
I
think you
say
inferred
that
something that he
I
didn't
got
mean.
ahead of this? I didn't I say I was going to get ahead of this before Republicans and Fox News media spun this to say that this is a problem in a blue fucking state. I
No,
live
that
in a
was you
red
switching up
state.
after, sir.
Oh my God,
Yes, sir.
bro.
No,
I'm telling
That's what
you,
happened.
man,
That's
this
not what I
motherfucker.
took from
Look,
it. I took
no,
from
I'ma
his
stand on this shit.
talking about
I'ma
what's
stand
going
on
to
this
happen
shit.
going forward.
I'm I'm going to say that they're going to politicize this because you said don't politicize this. I'm going to say they're going to politicize it before anybody will. Don't be mad at me because I got in front of Fox fucking News and said that they're going to say this is Tim Walz's fucking state. He's fucking inept. Let's send the fucking National Guard up there. That's where I was going with this. If you inferred anything else than that, then that is a fucking skill issue, and you haven't heard me talk on this app or this panel before.
How does
Do
this
you think
help the
that we
loss
should
of
be
human life?
So
politicizing
hold
this,
on. Wait
Finn?
a minute. Wait a
Answer,
minute.
hold on, stop. Answer the question. Do you believe that we should be politicizing what took place? Because those were the words verbatim that came out of your mouth.
I
Yes.
believe that we should politicize this shit because they will. They will. This is why we lost. Because you guys want to tone police motherfuckers who know shit is wrong and are trying to get ahead of the propaganda and telling you what the propaganda is going to do before they do it, sir.
No, I don't care about playing the same games as the Republicans when we have children that are unalive, sir. I don't believe in trying to play the same games
I'm
so
not
that we
playing that game. I'm not
that is
playing that
what you
game.
just
I
said. The
don't, I'm
reason
not,
that we hold on,
bro,
Finn, you
bro,
just said the
I'm not
reason we
playing
need to
that fucking game.
politicize this. Finn, you just said the reason that we need to politicize this is because we know the Republicans are going to politicize this. That is what you just said. So you are playing the same games as the
Or
Republicans because you think that
are
if
we not
we
supposed to? Are you? Do you think that if we, what game are you playing? The
the
gloves are
political
off, sir.
politics,
The the
the political
gloves the
politics.
gloves are off, sir. The National Guard has already
Weird.
been in
It's really
D.C.
weird.
snatching up fucking purse snatchers, my
Oh
guy,
my
like
god.
they're fucking the Avengers, and now they want to go to Chicago and every other blue state with a fucking blue governor or a fucking blue mayor. This is
What's
what
wrong
I'm
with that?
trying to get to you. I'm trying to pass this down to you. If you don't want it, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of little kids having to get bulletproof fucking backpacks for their back to school items. And I'm tired of fucking wearing a bulletproof fucking vest my fucking self. I'm tired. And I'm
The whole
tired of
thing
seeing
is, I
kids.
think the whole
Shut up,
thing is
Renee.
T-Bone.
Shut up,
Yeah,
Renee.
but why
Shut up, Renee. Shut up. I'm
talking about
tired.
red and
Shut
blue?
up, Renee. I'm tired of living. I'm tired of kids and elderly people having to worry about shit that I worry about in the fucking projects, in the fucking hood. That's what I care about. That's what I fucking care about. If you at church, if you at school, if you at a movie theater, I don't want to. You shouldn't get hit like you at a corner store, bro. That's what I worry about. And if you mad at that, I'm tired of seeing people get popped for no motherfucking reason. The people that need to get popped don't even get popped, bro. I'm tired of it.
We
Who
have the
needs to get
same
popped?
issues, but you're talking. Go ahead, because we gonna go back and forth for days on this bullshit.
Who needs to get popped?
I was responding just because I would say if we were in a normal political environment, then yeah, like this should be an off limits political topic. But in the environment in which we live, we have to we have to respond. We have to uh, bring it into the political realm before they do. That's just the current landscape we live in.
We successfully do that. This situation took place in a blue state, in a blue city, if I'm correct. I believe it was a blue city that this took place in. The restrictions on firearms are higher in this place than what they are in other places. So my question is, how are we supposed to successfully politicize this when the only other answer that we have is bringing up other school pew-pewings that took place in red states? How do we politicize this successfully?
Well, so the answer would be clearly this affects everyone involved. We need to do something about this right now. Sending in the National Guard would not have prevented any of these things. So the answer is to prevent these people from getting these things in the first place. That is the only way to stop children from being unalived in churches, right? That's the answer in which we do it. And the way that we do that is by requiring liability insurance on these pew pews when you purchase it, things that have to be maintained over time, and severe consequences when you don't have insurance for these things. That is
When
the
I hear
top
you
three things
say
we should be focused on.
when I hear you say liability insurance, I hear the same thing as Republicans saying it's not pew pews that are the problem, it's the people that's the problem. And now all of a sudden we're having a
Yeah, and that's what
conversation about
liability
mental
insurance.
health.
But now
Is
this
Aren't they
this
the
is the thing
problem?
about liability insurance, right? Now we go right back to it because liability insurance is not technically about the pew pew. It's about you and your actions with it, right? That's why you have to buy. That's why you have to legally have liability insurance on your car in case you make a mistake. You have to end up paying for it. That's the whole
So then,
point.
but Justin,
It's about your action.
I'm not sorry, not Shawnee. We're having the exact same conversation and the same arguments as the Republicans to try to keep these firearms regulated in a certain way to where they can keep them instead of addressing what the problem is. The problem
Females
is
don't
not
have a cap.
liability insurance. It's not mental health, although those play a factor. The problem is the weapon that they are using. And until
Taking
we acknowledge that that is the fucking problem, we're going
T-Bone.
to continue to. No one gives a. Hold on just a second. No one gives a fuck about background checks when they're trying to go to a school and pew it up. No one gives a fuck about liability insurance. You are going to lower these situations from happening. I agree with you, right? Even when we're talking about crime, it's probably going to help more so in the crime sense than the mass events that are taking place. But specifically, when we're talking about these mass events, these restrictions do not matter. They're not caring about if they have a waiting period of a week so that they can obtain the firearm. They'll sit that out. They don't care about having to pay liability insurance. That 20-year-old that just unalived himself is more than capable if he was able to get 3 firearms, a AR or rifle, a shotgun, and a hand pew pew, and he was able to obtain those. I'm sure he would have been more than willing to pay for liability insurance that he was going to use for one day to be able to unalive these people. You're talking to the insurance companies now at this point.
But see, this is the point, right? And so liability insurance will not only add costs to the process, which is the number one barrier, but two, the insurance companies will then have to dictate if you are a qualified candidate for this role, right? If you are somebody who does not meet the standards of the insurance policy for a car, nobody's going to give you insurance, especially if
No, no,
you've
no,
been
no,
shown
You're
a
you're
bad accident.
absolutely right,
So
but no
if
one
you
can
can't
stop you from obtaining the car. The
Yes,
insurance
yes, they
on the
can. Actually,
weapon.
no. That's the wrong thing. That's where you've been misled.
Insurance
I can't.
can make you
Hold on one second.
default on
Please
your
stop.
loan, but you
Please
can
stop.
pay cash for that
Please
bitch
stop.
and
That's
drive
fine.
off the lot. So
Stop.
let's
No,
stop
you
fucking
She's
cannot
not
playing
drive off
wrong.
with
the.
this
No.
insurance.
Listen, I worked in car sales for 5 years. They will not let
I
you
have
drive
insurance
off
for
the
the
lot. Stop.
loan.
Stop.
Wait, no, no,
Oh
no, no,
my
no, no,
god.
no.
Okay.
What she's
I am
saying,
going
hold
to
on,
finish
Shawnee,
my
Shawnee,
Technically,
statement.
Shawnee,
What
Shawnee.
the
Hold on, give me a
fuck?
I
second.
am
What
going to
she's
finish my
saying,
statement is
okay,
dumb.
go ahead,
What
go
she's
ahead.
saying is dumb. You
Okay.
have to have insurance. You have to have proof of insurance when you drive off the lot of your of a park when you drive off the parking lot at a car dealership.
not
Period.
every
Hmm.
You're
car
so
dealership.
$50 more dollars.
literally
$50
Okay.
more
no, it's
dollars
not
at
50.
drive
I don't know
off.
why you tell I
Yep,
don't know why you say that.
$100
Liability
at
that
drive
is
insurance.
off, and I
true.
don't pay it
That is
next
true.
month.
Listen, that's
Li-
That
fine.
she's
Listen,
not
listen, hold on,
lying.
hold
Fuck
on.
it.
Listen, peep what he's saying, right? What the reasons that they do that as well is because when you take out a loan on a vehicle, they want to make sure that you have full coverage and that it's insured. That's the reason why. So
No,
if you're
no, no,
paying
no.
for
That's
that,
not
hold
true.
on just a second.
That's
Hold
not
on
true.
just a second.
Even
But
we
yes, it
you
is,
have
bro. If
in
you
every
hold on,
car that you
listen
purchase.
to what no,
Tom,
listen to
that's
what I'm
not
saying.
true.
The only
Every
no,
car that is
bro.
purchased in this, at least in the state of Texas, every car that is purchased that leaves a dealership has to have any amount of liability insurance on that car before it leaves the lot. We cannot hand them the keys. We
Well, then
cannot.
maybe that's just in the state of Texas because I've also worked insurance, and I'm telling you that if someone pays full cash for their vehicle, or if they obtain it through a third party, somebody selling their vehicle, they don't have to show that proof of insurance. As a matter of fact, they can just make the statement that they plan to get insurance within a certain time frame, and they can have this regardless of the point that I'm making is that it's based off of the insurance company. It's the same thing with health, right? It's based predicated on the insurance company accepting whether they will insure you. If they think that you're a liability, that's fine. We have that answered. Now, how are we going to stop that person that says, I
It
don't
is
give a
state
fuck about
dependent
whether I have
because you could.
insurance on this firearm or not? I'm still going to go and use it in a mass event.
It is state dependent because you could buy a car here in this state and you can transfer it through a bill of sale, a written bill of sale, and that bill of sale can say at a minimum, I sold this car to this person on this day for $1.
That's true.
So in the state of Texas, now if you do private sale, that's the same thing, but we can close that loophole,
You can
right?
do the
We can
same.
say,
There's the same loophole with a pew pew.
right,
So they're
you can close that
supposed to
loophole.
use an app for the FFL, but nobody does. So you can transfer through a bill of sale. I sold this to
You could
this
also you
for
could put it in a
$1.
situation where you have to transfer your insurance with the pew pew in someone else's name in order for them to take ownership of it if you're going to do it third party. Or
Because when
there
you
are ways that
How
this can
register
be
the
is
done.
vehicle,
Yes.
the bill of sale is required.
It's
my
driving me nuts because
my
because
ultimate
not at all
question?
Go ahead, Renee.
Ultimate question: how does the insurance actually save lives?
Insurance is a barrier of it does. Insurance is a barrier of purchase. If you cannot purchase the insurance, the liability insurance, because the insurance company has deemed you to be unsafe or uninsurable, you cannot own said pew pew. That's the whole point, right? And if you do own a pew pew, you will suffer
That's not
higher
how insurance
consequences.
companies
That
work,
is
though.
literally